Hello, welcome to this your channel of the Eurofan, that's me. Lithuania is still keeping their good record in the competition on these last years, being the last proof of it, the danceable and energetic proposal presented by Sylvester Belt during last year's contest, by achieving a notable 4th place in the final ranking. There was not any doubt on the continuation of their participation, having the goal to keep showing the best of the Lithuanian musical talent to the rest of Europe. Now we will see who will be the artist that will have the occasion to represent the Baltic country on the main stage of Basel. Let's go! For today's episode, I'm going to review the Lithuanian entry for Eurovision 2025, which will be represented by the group Katarsis with the song Tavo Akys, which in English translates as Your Eyes. With both local and foreign eyes on them, these guys will be in charge of delivering their experimental musical project loaded with intense emotion to the contest stage. Without further delay, let's move on with the review. As usual, we will start by checking out the biography and career of them before living by first-hand their Eurovision experience. Katarsis is a Lithuanian alternative rock group coming from the country's capital, Vilnius. Currently is formed by vocalist Ruka Raksevicius, guitarist Alana Rasas, bassist Emilia Kandratavichite, and drummer Jokubas Andriulis. The origins date for the post-pandemic period, starting the musical year in 2020 with a musical project in which they blend post-punk with alternative rock in their native language, achieving little by little recognition in the indie musical scene of the country. Their fame will be increased with the release of their second official single named Vasara Galvosh Minoras, which in English translates as Summer in Minor Key, which will become a viral hit in 2021, reaching the top positions of the musical charts of the country, and that is now considered as the band's signature track. They will keep releasing singles independently during the following years until they released their first EP just on last year by combining their characteristic sound with elements from folk music of the country. It is not clear today when they will begin to work more seriously on their debut studio album. Musically speaking, the band is especially distinctive for their ability to transmit very intense emotions through their melancholic melodies and explosive climaxes by creating a sound atmosphere in some way hypnotic, which they also demonstrate during their live performances. On the other hand, although they have some years pursuing their career in their native country, the truth is that, according to them, they do not see themselves competing to represent their country at Eurovision, but later they will change their mind and will decide to try their luck by sending an entry for the Lithuanian national final. Let's see then how they end up becoming the Lithuanian champions for the contest. Following the strategy implemented on last year, the Lithuanian public broadcaster will organize the second edition of the revamped national final Eurovision LT, which they will select both the artists and the song that will represent the country in Basel. The submission period was opened in last mid-August of last year for the Lithuanian artists and songwriters who were interested in sending their proposals, closing it by late last November. After the deadline, it was known that 81 proposals were received, where 45 of them will be chosen to compete in the national final. The selected artists with their respective songs will be announced in early last December, being the guys from Katarsis among them, standing out that as soon as it was released their entry, it will become viral very quickly, topping the musical charts of the country, thus becoming the big favorites to win the competition. On the other hand, the edition featured known faces that had represented the country at Eurovision in past edition, for living already they had it. In one hand, there was a singer Vilija Matachunaite, who represented the country in 2014 during the edition held in Copenhagen, Denmark, and also there was the singer Eva Sassimauskaite, who did it as well in 2018 during the edition held in Lisbon, Portugal. 2 days after the announcement of the contestants, it was known that the singer Evelina Gamcheska will be disqualified from the national final after realizing that her entry she entered in the lineup of Dora, the non-Croatian national final, although going to be performed by a different singer, and being replaced in this case by the singer Australia Lukaide, who took her place, but unexpectedly she will be unable to compete in the national final after getting a flu shortly before the semi-final where she was allocated. Talking about the format, it will remain pretty the same dynamic implemented during the first edition, although with a few differences. With the increase of the selected artists for the edition, each semi-final will feature 9 contestants. And in the 5th and last semi-final, 2 wildcards will be awarded to 2 additional artists that will also advance to the final show, taking into account this time the 2 artists that will have received the highest amount of points from the public among the remaining of qualifiers from all the semi-finals, thus setting on the final show with 12 finalists. Katarsis will make their first appearance in the 4th semi-final, where they will become one of the 2 qualifiers to the final show after the votes from the jury and the public. Shortly after, during that final show that took place in last mid-February, the first round of voting revealed that Katarsis will become one of the finalists to advance to the super final, placing first in the overall ranking. Then in the super final, after the replies of their performances, the second voting round revealed that Katarsis will receive once again the highest amount of votes from the public, confirming their initial favoritism and getting undoubtedly the victory in the competition, achieving at the same time the right to represent Lithuania on the main stage of Basel. Intense emotions close to the surface. Now I'm going to analyze this proposal in further detail, with which the band will participate in the contest very soon. Staying true to their style, the melody is an alternative rock track blended with post-punk, transmitting a dark theme, while the vocal skills from Lucas as the back's vocalist are pretty acceptable and adapted to the genre. The lyrics have been written fully in Lithuanian by Lucas himself, being the 3rd time in 4 years that Lithuania sends an entry on its native language, something that had not happened in all the participations of the country so far. It seems that the proposal presented by Monica Liu supposed a turning point in the spread of the language to the rest of Europe. Talking about the context behind the lyrics, it describes a relationship troubled by suffering, where the eyes of one of them only see pain, while the other one see intense emotions by reflecting opposite and different sensations. According to Lucas himself, the song would represent his personal vision about the relationships, represented through the emotional pain and that deep connection that can express the glances of 2 people. Reading the lyrics more in detail, previously translated of course, you can easily appreciate that melancholy and that drama described within its context, emphasizing in particular the last part of the track, in which the word Tavo is repeated several times, probably by reinforcing that despair and longing feeling. Beyond having a message, the song transmits a quite intense and emotional state above everything, with which some people can feel identified. One way or another, many of us have been in some point of a relationship in which the other person is not requiting our feelings, which can result in a painful process that it is not easy to handle at all. Having seen more about the track, let's see what it was their live performance during their participation at Eurovision.lt, which serves as the official music video for the proposal. The performance begins with the stage in the half-light, showing full shots of Lucas while starting to perform the song, seeing some smoke over the stage floor, alternating with close-ups of the other members of the band, having Lucas his first vocal extravaganza instance while the lighting is increased. For the second part of the track, there is a landscape of an open field with intermittent lightning, and a homemade house in the distance with the visual graphics, all this while keeping the close-ups on Lucas. Then the lighting becomes completely blue, seeing then a somewhat apocalyptic scenery at the same time, with the house shattering little by little, like it is being hit by a tornado, probably with the intention of reflecting in this way the emotional context described with the song. This close-ups with Lucas continue while he sings the bridge, having himself a melancholic mood until the climax of the performance goes by repeating the word Tavo several times, initially with calm and progressively increasing the intensity. On its peak point, and now is seeing that the open field is literally shattered like an earthquake had happened there. Everything is flying through the air, once again in reflection of the complex and complicated emotional state related with the song, together with the lightning that stimulates a storm, where there alternate shots of the band on the stage and of close-ups of Lucas while he's still singing in full intensity until they finish the performance, ending with a full shot of the band on the stage, which is completely white. Making a summary of the comics, the Lithuanian entry for this year is intense. It is definitely among a group of entries with a more indie profile in the edition after the Ukrainian entry, and that these are increasingly present at the contest. Personally, I recognize the particular character the song has, but the last part is what unhooks me from the track with those umpteen repeats of the word Tavo. Beyond the fact that the track is not my cup of tea, it is true that it has been very popular in their native country. The thing will be to make it like in the same way to the rest of Europe. For the staging in Basel, I guess that they will appeal to the same one presented during the national final as the classic band that performs live with their musical instruments. Like their fellow contestants, they are right now presenting the proposal live in many of the Eurovision pre-parties of the season before making their final stop to present it on the main stage of Basel. This has been the Lithuanian proposal of this year for the contest. What do you think about it? Do you consider that they will not face difficulties to get to the grand final, or do you think that it will go unnoticed instead? In any case, let me know in the comments down below so we can start a discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Don't forget to like this video if it has been of your taste so you can bring me your support and make it reach to more people. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done it yet, enable notifications by the bell, and find me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.